Very good afternoon to each and everyone. I would request you to please be settled down to your seat. We are going to start the next technical session. Hello. So, welcome again. Day 2 of the 50th Regional Conference of the Eastern India Regional Council of ICAI. So, we are in the session number 9, having the topic on the art of generating outsourcing assignments. Very unique, very pertinent, and very challenging as well. So we have a very good line of panelists here to deliberate over the topics. May I call upon the stage our esteemed speaker, CA Anjali Ladia, Chairman, ICAI Luxembourg Chapter. Please put your hands together, little louder for him. Please, sir, be on dais. Next, I'd call upon stage our esteemed speaker, CA Rajshekhar Reddy Yadla, who has come long from Hyderabad. So, put your hands together for him. We have our moderator, CA Sarita Agarwal, partner SN Banerjee and Company. Welcome, Sarita. So we are actually running a little short of our time, our scheduled time. So I'll quickly read out the profile of our speaker. I will start with the moderator, CA Sarita Agarwal, FCA partner. So may I also call upon stage CA Gaurav Agarwal. Gaurav, please be on the dais. As a part of our moderating team. So CA Sarita Agarwal is a fellow chartered accountant with over 20 years of experience in US accounting, taxation, and professional training. She leads the offshore accounting and compliance desk at SN Banerjee and Company Chartered Accountants. Her career includes a decade of consulting roles with the cloud info solutions and digital accountants, where she worked on QuickBooks and zero-based bookkeeping, IRS compliant tax preparations, and GAAP conversions for North American small and mid-sized enterprises. She joined the partnership in November 2022 to scale these offerings through structured processes and cloud-led executions. Sarita is also known for mentoring professionals in accounting systems and tools including Microsoft Excel and QuickBooks, combining technical depth with a trainer and a mindset of the trainer and clarity to strengthen remote finance operations. So welcome, Sarita, on stage. Thank you for your time. Let me introduce CA Rajshekhar Reddy Yadla. Rajshekhar is a chartered accountant and an alumnus of the Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore, with over 25 years of international experience. He has provided strategic leadership and guidance to several Fortune 500 companies working across geographies including India, United States of America, Canada, UK, and Australia. Before founding the Assurance Prep, Rajshekhar had held senior leadership roles with KPMG and other Big Four consulting firms. and also co-founded multiple business in finance and accounting, taxations, audit, and consulting. His expertise has consistently delivered exceptional growth strategies and transformational outcomes for global organizations. As a passionate entrepreneur, he has successfully established and led global delivery services center across diverse industries. He specializes in building outsourcing strategies for CPA firms and financial service providers, ensuring scalable growth, cost efficiency, and outstanding customer experience. Beyond his corporate journey, he is deeply committed to personal growth and well-being. An avid practitioner of yoga, Rajshekhar radiates positively, creates a harmonious environment around him. Known for his honesty, approachability, and collaborative spirit, he is admired by colleagues and peers alike. Thank you, Rajshekhar, for your time and your commitment. Now may I introduce before you Mr. Anjani Ladia, Chairman, Luxembourg chapter of ICAI. He is a board member of Indian Business Chamber, Luxembourg, head of the Business Control Operations, IQEQ, Luxembourg. He is a finance and accounting professional having 25 plus and more years of experience, mostly in investment management, private equity, real estate industry, with a focus on providing accounting and audit services. He has in-depth experience in working on multinational clients with a presence in various jurisdictions for implementations and reviewing governance, risk, and internal controls, and including business process reviews. He has a strong strategic, commercial, and a value-driven orientations with excellent skills in accounting, audit-related services, both internal and external audits, financial analysis, business planning and development, cost reductions initiatives, business process developments, and operational synergies. Anjani now holds the Luxembourg and nationally by neutralization. In his free time, he loves to enjoy watching Bollywood movies. Thank you very much. Cannot miss electrifying cricket games and glued to Formula One Grand Prix races. Thank you for your time, Anjani. And I will not waste, a single minute of the panelists because we are already short of time. So I hand over the session to our moderator, Sarita. Thank you, Sarita.
Thank you, Sandeep Da, for such a wonderful introduction of all of us. And today we all are here to listen from our two great panelists, Mr. Rajshekhar and Mr. Anjani, which I got a chance of talking to both of them backstage for an hour. So I would say that what Mr. Sandeep read was their profile, like the paper profile. But to tell more about Anjani ji, he is the first Luxembourg CA who is also an Indian CA, and he holds US CPA certificate as well as the UK CA. So yeah, he has a good years of experience, and I would love to hear more about him from him itself. So sir, if you can tell few lines about yourself.
Already more. Sandeep ji, Sarita ji, okay, so if I have to tell something which nobody knows is, Deloitte did not make me a partner. Grant Thornton did not make me a partner. So I said, then I have to become a partner of my own. So that inspiration of a professional chartered accountant that we always come from a corporate world of servicing to becoming an entrepreneur and in a jurisdiction which is very, very competitive in the form of favorism and then bringing up their own people, it was a little bit difficult for me to establish my own firm, and I was the first Indian chartered accountant to become a Luxembourg chartered accountant and in practice. So so this is something I would say is, I would talk about the topic, I would not talk about myself, but the topic of art, which I realized it to come up from away from accounting and qualification or perspective that what you have to do. So please, it's not for me, it's for the audience to know how we can bring them about the entrepreneurial journey of the ways they can become the inspiring, which I try to bring up into my sessions now towards the upcoming generation and students now. So that's for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Anjani ji. So, yeah, there is a similarity between two of our panelists, Mr. Rajshekhar and Mr. Anjani. They both are ex-Deloitte. Even he has good years of experience in Deloitte as well as, I suppose, KPMG. Yeah, and now he holds his own practice in US auditing taxation, and he's leading a team of around 200 people having offices in Bangalore and Hyderabad. Yeah, so that is why we have them here to help us understand how can we get into this business more. So I would say, Rajshekhar, I have a question for you. Like, as of now, I used to understand that generating outsourcing assignments is a science. But today the topic says it's an art. So what do you have to say on that? Is it an art or is it a science?
Generating an assignment. Generating an assignment is always an art because it's never going to be science of getting things done as per 1 + 1 = 2. It can never be that way. You need to understand the client's pain points, understand what they need and why they should give you the work. So that's something which is, like if there are 5 players who are pitching in for a client, 5 of them have different reasons why they should give the work. So it's all about convincing the client about that, so that is always an art. It's never a science. Because all 5 people who are going to pitch into the client are excellent. They're all most likely chartered accountants. So why they come to you is how you sell it. It's an art. So what makes you to understand is to showcase yourself as somebody with a global mindset who can deliver solutions to them on a simple and easy basis. So that's what I think makes it an art. How to make a complex thing into a simple thing is an art.
So Anjani ji, you want to add something to that?
Every mindset is different, right? The way what we think about, which is how to deliver a service to a client, will not be same as the other fellow chartered accountant would want to do. So can this really be the art of your delivery? So, which is something has to be modified. No 2 paintings can be exact the same. That's why no 2 audit reports can be the same about for standardization. So I would say it's still an art, and taking out the value of our skill set is the art that we have to find out in ourselves, that what we can do differently to deliver it out from our professional way. So again, I support that. Is it an art? When this topic was being shown to us, I would say is we are not here to tell you what to do. We are here to infuse your thought to take out what you can do for us. So that's what I would say is this session is all about. Thank you.
So Anjani ji, like even I have been into this industry for last 20 years, and like what do you think? How has this industry evolved in last 2 decades? Like what has been the major changes in shift of mind, the way the work goes on, and the way the people think about this entire industry?
And outsourcing, right?
Yes, about outsourcing.
So I don't know if many people know a difference between outsourcing, delegation, support, and service delivery. So this has always changed as a journey. So when we talk about 20 years ago, what we were called BPOs, business process outsourcing. 5 years down the line, fast forward, we started calling ourselves as KPOs, knowledge process outsourcing. Now what are we calling about as GCDs, Global Client Delivery Centers. And the new topic, or the name comes as Global Capability Centers. So it has evolved, right? Like, and the way how the world has been looking us and taking us that we are not the ground foundational work anymore. We are the decision makers now who could give and support as council members to make the decisions for their own countries, and companies. So I would say it has been evolving from the way of Indian mindsets are thinking and how they have started presenting themselves. Again, it's not only the way our fellow chartered accountants, finance professionals are doing it, it's in any industry. Whether it's whether you are in a corporate world, whether it's any academia world, it is in any kind of entrepreneurial world. So we have seen the changes of the evolvement of our Indians' way of thinking, and this is what has been also witnessed into our fellow chartered accountancy profession, that we have been now doing more tasks away from traditional bookkeeping and accounting and financial analysis. So we have now getting into more about project reports, business plan analysis, more getting into the next level of innovation thinking upfront into it. So I would say this is how we have started the journey of getting in the competitive world of what the Western world was always taking up their own in custody. So we have broken that custody and we are evolving our mindsets to deliver it and competing with the industry of the world. So I was always told that, Anjani, you could be a CA, but when I qualified 20 years ago, 24 years ago, I did CPA as well because CA was not evolving as that fast. Then I had to do the US one because our profession was not recognized there. I came to UK, CPA was not recognized there. Do you guys know what happened? My CA gone, my CPA gone, so I have to get into the localization of UK ICAI. Then I came to Luxembourg. Oh, not all the 3 qualifications are recognized, then I have to go into it. But I would say is now the qualification does not matter anymore. It's the mindset that matters. So if we are evolving and our industry is evolving, our way of thinking is evolving, I think that's the new generation of our ways of working will be evolving as well. So this has been changed. So will this GCC stay as GCC? Probably not. It will evolve into something else. But we have to go into the same pace of how the world is moving, how the world's economic powers are moving, how the geopolitical things are moving, how the profession is moving. And it's the demographics of focus that changes every 20 years. It's the Asia's time, and in Asia, it's India's time going forward. So we have to be there to the face, into our profession of the nation building towards, for not only for India, but for the world. So these are the things I would like to mention that we will be changing more further.
Right. So can we say that today outsourcing assignments can be replaced with the word GCC, like vice versa? Like can we say GCC instead of outsourcing?
No, I would say is GCC. Outsourcing is a subset of a GCC, where the innovation, the technological aspect of adaptation, the ways of how to think forward of the next change. Our profession is changing has to change as fast as the technological advancement is changing. Our mindset have to change. So I would say is outsourcing will still be there, but that will not be the core function of GCCs, what it is. But GCC is a more wider term that we say is the capacities, capabilities, and also the competencies will be that coming into picture for our thing. But because outsourcing was only what is told to us, you do it. It's a service. But now, it's the capability, competencies, and challenges that we have to think will be coming up from the GCC's perspective.
Great. So next question is for you, Rashekar. When I was talking to you, I came to know that earlier you were into taxation, like you were developing team who could work on the US taxation, then I suppose UK taxation. Yes. And then finally you landed up doing US audits, right? We over here, we like kind of face problem shifting from one service to other. How did you have such a big mind shift getting into tax auditing from the taxation? Like how is it possible? That would give like all of us an idea how can we shift from our core practice to something different or even get into the global market?
See, when we qualified as a chartered accountant, we know about Indian laws, right? So when I went to US taxation, people said, why US taxation? So I said, I learned Indian, let me learn US. And that's where I spent a good amount of time learning about US taxation with Deloitte. And then with KPMG, I got an opportunity to go to their London office and for 6 months and study their tax system and then come back and migrate the process. So all that became possible only with an open mindset, not just fixating to one aspect of service, but moving on and going through the value chain. So that's what helps you to set up your process. And at the end of the day, it is in the same domain, but we not having a fixed mindset is very crucial. That's what I would say for people to set up their practice in the outsourcing, because you might go to client and pitch in for one subject or one service, but the client might not require it, but he might need something else. So you should be nimble enough to change your strategy and pitch in those services. We cannot just keep going to market saying that I can do only this one thing and I need to do work for this. So it's always about the client, not about what you can do. Figure out the client's needs and then scale up your team and scale up yourself to deliver to that. That has always been my approach.
So then the question which will come to my mind
Sarita,
is,
I have one question to both of the panelists, esteemed panelists, that we know that as the member of the ICAI here, we have a huge potential, and the scope that we are having here in India, it's quite high. We are doing a lot of good work, a lot of potential increasing. But when we talk about the global benchmarking, that the Indian chartered accountants are expected in the global platform, global land, when they are going outside India and doing some jobs, or sitting here, we are, targeting the global clients. So where lies, just coming straight forward, that where lies the gaps? So where lies the chances of improvement, being the, Indian way of doing work and the way of having the knowledge and the global expectations? Where lies the actual gap and how it can be breached?
Right. See, just to tell you from my experience, like I did my articleship in a very medium-sized firm, and that's way back in 2000, 2003. So you all remember how we used to file the income tax returns and do probably the accounting on a manual system. Some of my clients were maintaining manual accounts back then. Back then, the economy was about $1 trillion. So that's how the CA firms evolved, were operating. Right now, we are at a 4 trillion economy, and the way we are working has changed completely. We are doing online filings, we are doing We are not visiting the income tax office much often now. Everything is faceless. So the kind of business that has changed. And the same way when we look at US market or US market, just for example, US market is a 30 trillion economy. So they operate at completely different level at what we are operating. So first thing is to recognize the gap. Unless we recognize the gap, we cannot do it. Recognize and accept it, saying that they are much advanced than us. And then we can always look at the services, what they can do and what we are doing. I have seen some of my clients, CPA firms, who started their firms in US when the US economy was 3 trillion. And now they are almost grown 10 times. Those CPA firms are operating in small cities, not in big New York or California, but they still make about $500 to $700 million of revenue per annum. A CPA firm doing that kind of business. But as Indians, can we think of doing that kind of business? So that's the mindset. And when I asked the partners how they have evolved the firm, they said, we never let a client requirement unaddressed. They just provide what the client needs for them. So it's a completely different approach. Rather than being in India, we always expect the client to come to us and take the service. Rather, going to the client and understanding what are the pain points, what are the things that he needs to grow the business. See, every entrepreneur starts a business with a big ambition. And what matters is how we are fueling that ambition. That's what makes a difference.
Sandeepji, if you allow me to just add it in here. So, you mentioned about small cities. I would say globalization is a myth concept. Please don't quote me anywhere, but still localization has to be important. So and I talk about from the European jurisdictions perspective, can we get a work from Europe? No, you cannot get the work from Europe because Europe does not even exist at all. It's France, it's Belgium, it's Germany, it's Spain, it's Portugal, and every country is different. There is no standardization. Every country has their local gap. So can our Indian Chartered Accountants have succeeded in getting the outsourcing? I don't know from Europe at all. So we all talk about US CPA firms, we talk about Canadians, we talk about UK. UK is not Europe, So if you need to have a work getting up from a globalization perspective, you have to think from the localization perspective and see what area and specialization and target that you want to take it over. So if I come from Luxembourg, I am a financial services center, but only on asset management. So if you would want to work in specialization of insurance, no, don't come to Luxembourg. Go to Netherlands. If you want to work from the banking industry, then don't come to Luxembourg or Netherlands. Go to Germany. So that's how it is. So you have to identify your skill set, your areas of expertise, the excellences, what you can offer, and then penetrate into the market with the localization support, as if any foreign companies who want to set up here, what do they look for? The local partners, right? So that's where we have to come up with the concept of identifying local partners there. And this is what our institute is doing phenomenally well. How? If you have seen the existence of institutes' availability in the foreign map, in the world map, there were only 35 chapters and representative offices, but now we are more than 130 chapters and representative offices. So we have become local. So if you want to work, identify, give up a call. Our databases are visible in the institute's website. Our phone numbers are in there. If you want to get the work, pick up the phone, identify what skill set you can bring into it, and we will help you. So you have to find local partners. So globalization, again, I feel that we cannot bring up one work from anywhere. You have to identify what you really are good into it, and then go for it, and then we are there to support. So this is something which I would like to always say, that is, you will not get the outsourcing. You have to identify what do you want to get it outsourced. So that is something that will always have to think about it, that what are you good at, and then we support in getting you that work out from there. So
it's a micro-specialization concept.
Yeah. So Anjani ji, will we be correct if we can say to the crowd over here that they can connect with you and kind of explore what kind of services they can offer for Luxembourg?
So how many people know Luxembourg? What is Luxembourg? Anyone? Okay, it's a small country. Can anybody guess the population of Luxembourg? 650,000. 5 million. Sir, 5 million? No, 6.5 lakh. 650,000. Not even 1 million. Yes. 500,000. But it has the best rankings in the world. It's the richest per capita income country. It's one of the best passports to have, 158 nationalities visa-free. Medical is free. Education is free. Public transportation is free. It's the largest financial services hub in the world. So can Luxembourg offer to you guys? Yes, we can offer to you guys, and you can reach out to us. And I'm proud to say that in last 2 years, 4 Luxembourg companies have opened up their GCC centers in India. ArcelorMittal, everybody knows Mr. Mittal, right? He is the steel tycoon. He had his shared service center in Poland. He closed it. He opened it up in Pune, in Hyderabad. And Pune was inaugurated only yesterday. Hyderabad is getting ready. ArcelorMittal opened up their GCC center in here. SES, a satellite company which acquired Intelsat, the US company, it's the largest satellite company in the world, where most of the SpaceX rockets, which goes into the Elon Musk rockets, it takes SES satellites there. They have opened, it's a Luxembourg-based company. They have opened up their GCC center where? Chennai. Where? 2 months ago. I come from financial services, ICAI. I helped their fund administration to open up their GCC in Hyderabad, which is growing and managing. And the 4th one is Alter Domus, Luxembourg-based company, fund administration, Apex. They are opening up their GCC centers in here. So if it is the largest financial services center, it's the fund house, but there is no resources. Who will serve? It's us who will be serving, but with the mindset of the skill set that what we can bring it in here. So if you would want to target Luxembourg, then please, you need to know about private equity. You need to know about investment funds. You need to know about administration and COSEC work, but not the accounting and bookkeeping. So you have to then, where the specialization comes in, and there will be, lot of work coming in, focusing in on it. So we don't need to have an outsourcing available for our chartered accountants and fellow professionals here. You would have to get your skill sets upskilled up, learn it, invest into yourself, and then go for it. That, guys, I am here to offer it. Why are you not taking it? That will be, is that, can they say no? No, they will not say no, because there are use cases coming up from Luxembourg, and we are not talking about France. SocGen is the Societe Generale, the largest bank. AXA, the largest insurance company. These are the Deutsche Börse, the German. They are all coming to India. The Europe is opening up. So I would say is identify what you want to do. If you're going into capital markets, we can help you. If you want to go into the pharmaceutical industry of Europe, we can help you. If you want to go into the manufacturing and industrialization, we can tell you that which centers to go for and then identify and help you. So it's not only Luxembourg, but Luxembourg is the heart of Europe because it's the financial services. The money flows, that's where the business flows. So if the Blackstones and BlackRocks and KKRs of the world are in Luxembourg, then yes, the business operations owned by them are through Luxembourg. So we can definitely identify those areas to help. And then if you again open up the world map of ICAI, we have 4 chapters in Europe and 9 representative offices in Europe, where you could always go and ask and reach out, and we are available always.
But then, sir, isn't language a barrier? Like, if we want to get into the European countries, what we know, that language is always a barrier. So how do we break that barrier?
So how many of us knows that institute offers language courses? They offer French, they offer German, they offer Spanish. Certificate courses, you have to be only A2, B1, where the reading comprehension has to be okay. Nobody is asking you to conversate that because AI has taken it over now. So you don't need to know the language. You just need to know the cultural value of how to use that language at what point of time. So if you have learned that skill set of using the how other person would want to hear, then I think the deal is already cracked. So it's I would say the social language and not the business language, because the business language is still English, so for all the companies in there. So social language could be there. So I would say the language barrier is not the barrier anymore.
So friends, we all know that just after this session, we all need to reach to Mr. Anjani and kind of find our ways to make ourselves to Luxembourg or any other countries of the Europe, right, sir? So we can reach to you? Thank you. Thank you so much. I think that would be the biggest takeaway for all of us, that we
may
can
ask
reach you.
our chairman to make a study out there.
Yeah. So now, Rajshekhar, though you and Mr. Anjani both have been saying that we need to upskill ourselves so that we can be ready for the global market, but then still as a practitioner, I would say that what is that we need to learn so that we can at least get a start? Like, obviously you are saying that we need to upskill ourselves. Like, we have been upskilling ourselves. We always try to learn new things, whatever comes our way. We do so many certification courses, which is done by the ICAI. But still, the biggest question which we all have is, where do we take a start from? How do we get into the market? Like, unless you get a smallest of business, or unless you see a spark that yes, you have a way out, you don't feel interested of learning any further, or what do you do out of that? So what do you have to say on that?
Yeah, I think Anjani covered that part, but let me cover in depth of having a local partner. Having a local person makes a big difference. Sitting here, people will not be able to generate business. You might generate some projects, you might generate some transactions, but not an ongoing business. To generate an ongoing business, one is you need local presence. Tie up with people in the local the market where you want to serve. There are a lot of people who are willing to do the services. Figure out for them on the LinkedIn. Don't figure out for the CPA firms. CPA firm is not going to come to you if you reach out to them on LinkedIn. But there are some professionals, or there are people who are willing to do that service for you in the local market. Reach out to them. So they are the people who can help you out. And also, secondly, make the investments in your current business. Get the certifications, ISO certifications or the SOC certification. Get the security systems in place, the process in place. Because the biggest factor for people to give work, to outsource work, is security. and the trust factors. So just for example, if you have to outsource your work from, our work from India to say Vietnam, what will be your concerns? The same concerns the people in US would be dealing with us, right? If they are sending the work to us. So think that way and then start addressing those concerns. Then automatically you will get those, with the local presence and addressing those concerns, your job is 80% done. That's what I would say.
So yesterday only one of my CA friend was asking me, like we as a CA firm, are we allowed to take ISO certification and SOC 2 certification? Is there any restrictions or is it anybody or any firm can go for this ISO certification?
There is no restriction on ISO certification or SOC certification. It's not like you are getting a certification just for the namesake of it. But there are lot of processes that go into place before they get you certified. Going through that process is what makes you a winner. Getting the process, getting the security, getting the firewalls, getting the documentation in place, and getting it updated on real-time basis. So those are the processes is what we lack. It's not that we are lacking the capability, not the market. What we lack is the process, which we need to develop the process. So instead of reinventing the process, take up the certification and get all the processes in place. One, it will improve your process, and it will give you a greater saleability in the US and international markets.
Does this certification also help us in our Indian business or getting Indian clients, which is little big size, or is it just for like global markets?
See,
and not
it
needed
will
for
definitely
India?
help you in everywhere because you are having the process. It's not about the certification. It's about the process that you put in place to get the certification. That's what makes the difference. And the biggest thing what people, I always tell people is, when you're doing a outsourcing work or in the international clients, that's the best way to benchmark your practices into their practices. That's where we can grow much bigger in Indian domestic practices if you bring in those processes. The moment the client knows that you have the process in place, then they're willing to pay you the premium. That's the biggest takeaway.
So what are the ISO certifications which we should get ready for or we should try to take? If we
One
are
is the
willing to-
quality management, the data security, and these are the two minimum requirements that we can look at.
So, yeah, so now we know that we need to increase our skill set. We need to connect with any personal references which we have there. Suppose we get connected with a reference which we have and we are ready from the security side as well. But then, what do you think, what we need to do in-house as far as our team goes so that even they are ready once we get the business, finally we need to have a team who will deliver the work for us. So what do you have to say that? How should we have a team ready for the same? And what is that we need to have our team learn so that they are ready with us to get to the market?
See, I think having a team is not a problem. Having the right person is the problem. So identifying the right person who can help you in delivering the service. Because what matters to the international clients is quality. You take more time, they don't have a problem, but if they are not happy with the quality, then they will not continue with you. So what we need to do with the existing team members is to bring in their quality consciousness, improve the quality consciousness, how to generate greater quality, plus always deliver the wow factor. If the client is asking you to just do something, don't do that and deliver it back. Look at what can be the additional value, wow factor for him. If client is expecting 9 things, you should deliver him 10 things. That's when you will grow. If you do 9 things, you are doing a great job, but that will not help you grow. So I think that's the 2 things that the person should have. The team should be developed into creating those 2 things.
Yeah, I think you well answered this question. Now, next question which is coming to my mind is, normally we all have this concept that if they are looking to outsource to us, that is just to save the cost. Does this statement still hold good that we should pitch in with the lowest of the price so that they provide us this like job, or like how should we pitch in? Does that help that we say them that we will give you the best possible rate, or we will charge you a very small dollar per hour or something like that?
I don't think so. Cost is not what India offers. Philippines can go, they can go to for the cost factor. They can go to Mauritius for the cost factor. They can go to any other island, like for the cost factor. India is not the cost factor what they come for. They come for the brand value. So if somebody, and I come from Luxembourg, if you are giving the quality and the value proposition for anything, you are ready to pay that cost. So our services are not cheap. That is not how I project. Because when I am there, and I'll tell you my experiences, I have clients, European clients, I have clients, Indian clients in Europe, and I have Indian clients in India, who have businesses in Europe. And I'll tell you, my negotiation for them is very different for everyone. But the one thing is fixed is my pricing. Whether it is an Indian client working in Europe, my price is fixed for them, because then I see what are their value, what they can get onto it on their ROI, on their return of investments. So if you project, if you see what the client looks into it for, I think they would want to pay you off your professional expertise, which they will not get it from the, from any kind of the technological aspect, which is just a tool. So we would need our expertise, and it's not the cost factor that would come into picture. One thing, what definitely comes into picture is our KPIs, our key performing indicators. Recently, you asked me, Sarita ji, about the GCC setup. People, corporates, multinationals, or small or big, they are setting up in here in India with certain KPIs in mind. So we have a GCC KPI catalog into 5 different buckets, which could be on the performance, on the quality, on the service delivery, the SLAs. So if anybody would want to know more about it, I will be able to share that research report that has been jointly made by NASSCOM and an industry expert, which lists down all the key performance indicators and SLAs. And this is what, if you can confidently mention that, yes, I can meet those requirements, then it does not come cheap for that, right? So you have to pay for it, and then they are ready to pay the price. So ArcelorMittal, they want to serve their clients not by delivering the cost factor of a cheap arbitration, because the client will ask them, hey, you are getting your work in India 40% less, so then reduce your pricing by 40% less. Does that work? No, that does not work. So, and that's not even a question about how to portray India from the perspective of the cost arbitration. It's only one of many, and the value, the weighted average value of this is very low. There are other values that has the higher parameters.
Right. So Rashika, you want to add something to this?
Yes. So cost was a factor 20 years ago when we started off, but it is no more a factor. From a back room, back office to a strategic partner is what we have evolved into. Right now, people look at India as a strategic partner, having people, the capabilities in India as a strategy, not as a cost saving. As Anjani said, it's cost. You cannot compete with a Vietnam or with a Philippines teams, because their cost is much, much less than us. So what we need to compete is on the value additions that we do, the kind of services we do is what makes a difference. And just to quote from my example, when I discuss with my clients, when I'm pitching into them, I don't speak about cost. I want them to come to India, spend time with them in India, I tell them they are your team members, you have to take care of them. And they are more than willing to do that. And some clients travel almost 3 times in a year just to be with them. So for them, it is a strategic investment. It is not cost saving. I come and it's not like kind of sending work and getting the work done. So if that is the case, they would have gone somewhere else. If they're coming to India, they are looking at long-term strategic advantage.
Yeah,
If you allow me one thing to add here is, you know, is the pricing module of Big Fours different? No, like the pricing of PwC is almost as similar as EY versus KPMG versus Deloitte's, but they have a area of expertise, you know, so the clients go for of what they would want for. So I would suggest something in here is you should make up the catalog of your pricing considering only of which would be competitive, but not a differentiator. You know, so make it up, but commercial discounts, everybody likes discounts, you know, like, so you bargain, you know, like the best of the best, they bargain, right? Like 5% बच जाए तो बहुत है, but ठीक है, but give them a commercial discount, but not for their rights, but as your gesture of giving it to them, that I am doing a favor on you for doing this, otherwise you are not getting it outside of the world. So this is what I would just want to conclude it on that factor. And this is what differentiates the Western world towards our mindset of chartered accountants. Again, I'm sorry I am part of it, but I had to change myself. And please, I would say is, if you are in financial reporting, one firm to the other firm, don't compete for it, but complement to see how you could be better from the other's perspective.
right. So I'll vouch both of your statements since even I'm into this outsourcing business. So what I have seen in last 20 years, it's not always that they are looking for a low cost service. What they are looking for is value addition. They are looking forward towards you as a strategic partner, wherein you are not just helping them deliver their work, but you are helping them growing their business, adding value to their clients, and helping them also grow along with you. So yeah, it's not always the low cost, it's more of value addition which we need to serve. Now, pardon me for this question, it's totally out of the way, though we are here to understand the art of generating outsourcing assignments. But then we have been hearing for last couple of years from our Prime Minister, from our past president of ICAI, and from very different sources, that India is again going to be called as Soni ki chiriya, and it's again the golden era for India. So if it is that, why are we looking for outsourcing work? Why aren't we like looking for work inside our country and trying to find from where can we get business within our country? Like why always we still talk about getting this outsourced business and GCC and these stuffs?
We have to explore, and I would say is, you know, like don't look the Western world from the perspective that how we can get business, but look for the perspective that how they can generate business from us. I'll share two things. How many of us in the room would know that our chartered accountancy qualification is equivalent to master's program? Yeah. So we can do PhD. So how many of you guys have skilled yourself to go into the direction of specialization of a PhD?
Yeah, past President Dr. Debashish Mitra.
Right.
Very few.
Very few.
Compared to the numbers.
So the University Commission of India has granted us as equivalent to of masters. So our fellow chartered accountants, you know, our Indian diaspora who's there, they are upskilling themselves to be in competition, because every other European or a Western world professional is a master's, or they do for PhD. They do double masters, they do PhD. We chartered accountants have to go. We have a qualification, but we have to get into the specialization. The second thing which I want to talk about is How many of you guys know here would be that Ministry of External Affairs has identified CA Institute into the same level of other non-governmental bodies like CII, FICCI, ASSOCHAM. So, if Chartered Accountant body is being given the same status, then our embassies are open. Our trade missions in the foreign chapters, they are open. Look into your clientele books that whom do you serve? Do they have any kind of a touch point in the global world? Then that is the most low-hanging fruit for you to go to the embassy saying them, hey, this is the business whom I serve. I would want your help to see what you can support me on from bringing me as a support, because it's a government's initiative. So you mentioned about Mr. Modi mentioning that it will be Sone ki Chidiya, right? Like, it will not happen it by itself, right? Like, it will not become, we will have to make some efforts. So go inside yourself, look into it, what you could offer, where are you touching your point on it, and then explore those resources that is available. While we are in there, but the whole Indian ministry government is there, and the representations is in there. We will be signing FTA pacts with EU, the historical one. The UK one is done, the Netherlands one is done, the Germany is happening. We are doing with EU. So it is a, like more and more business. Not only coming here is coming, they will need, the Indian corporates will need business mindsets of ours to serve there. If one of your client opens up and then he sends out his goods in Luxembourg, right? Who would set up the company in Luxembourg, right? Who will do the bookkeeping? Who will do the directorship services? Who will do the certifications? We will have to do it because Indians will want to work with Indians. Like that's how the French wants to work with French, German wants to work with Germans. So it will become, because the money flow will still come back to our firms, and this is the initiative Institute has taken up of creating our own big force, and as well as servicing and identifying the curriculum which will be more adaptable towards the Western world, where the money flow will again come to us, and if the foreign exchange reserves comes in, then it will be only a win-win situation. And with the gift city, your firm is in Kolkata, right? Do you have your own firm's registration in Gift City? If not, that already gives you an advantage, saying that, hey, you know what, I can serve it to you with the 10 years of exemption, no GST, nothing, no value addition. So that is also and something what would generate more mindsets about it, the flexibility of India getting more businesses, more foreign exchanges, more value propositions, more opportunities for us to have it. So this is what we will have to start thinking, that where are those opportunities, and then start unveiling those ones which you are comfortable into it. But we are not saying that we would want to do everything, but 1, 2, or 3 things that you would want to do it in 1, 2, and 3 years. Going forward, and then that's what we do. You cannot make a 5-year plan, you cannot make a 10-year plan, you cannot make a 20-year plan. You can only make 6 months, 1 year, 2 years down the line, and then accordingly work towards it.
Very well answered, sir. So Rajshekhar, you want to add something to it?
Yes. So with that, to continue with what Anjani said, what matters, it's not just the service that we're delivering to the US or the international clients. It's the benchmarking that we do, the learnings that we do and implement in our domestic market, which is the fastest growing economy, is where you're going to get more returns, not by doing the outsourcing projects. So that's where is the real diamond lies. So that's where we're going to grow.
Yes. So, Mr. Gaurav, do you have any questions for the panelist, or we can open, yeah. So, do you have any questions for our panelist? Yes, sir.
My question is towards Rajshekhar ji. You had told that US CPA firms, we did not, it is not needed to connect with them, but rather connect with local connections. What do you mean by local connections?
The local connections would be the people who, one is, as Anjani said, the local chapters that we have there, the members who are part of that chapter. So those are the people who are going to help you connect with the CPAs. Because CPAs in there need a reference. They need to know who you are. And somebody to tell them who you are. So it can be a CPA, CAs who are working in US, part of this CA institutes, branches there, or the representative offices, or the marketing people who are, there are some professionals in US market who do this marketing services for CPA firms. So getting in touch with them and pitching it to them.
Aren't we going to get any work from CPA firms?
So I'll just add to it. So basically what happens, if you're going to a CPA firm directly, like just talk very locally. If you go to any big houses for any business, why would they give you the business if they don't know you, if you don't go through some references? They need some kind of security, they need some kind of like know-how of you, that whether you will be able to deliver the service well or not. At that time, any local references plays a very big role. So if it may not be a CPA, it can be just a friend of yours who have gone to the US for any like kind of job or business or anything. If they connect with you, or if you connect with them and they talk to a CPA that we can get this work delivered, if they have a face to see in front of them, it makes a lot of difference. It's all about initial trust which you need to develop. Once the CPA knows you, they have started working with you in reference with someone, then it makes easy for the CPA to connect with you and to get further work done through you. So it's all about getting a first connect.
And one more thing is, there are a lot of networks of CPA firms. Become a member of those networks. So that will give you a lot of door opening.
I have one question. With a general guideline that I may not have any specific knowledge in a financial service sector, apart from the knowledge that I have gained here in India, that is accounting, bookkeeping, those kind of services, maybe accounts payable, accounts receivable as a role. What would be the first 3 steps that I should take in order to set up my own GCC or an outsource model? And it could be, if you are saying that you first require a capital, how much can you also help me quantify as to how much capital or what is required? And I'm talking of only the first 3 steps required to do so.
Yeah, as you said about the first is the investment that we need to make, depending upon what you are looking at. So first you look at the ISO certification, which will take you maybe about 4 to 5 lakh rupees.
Wouldn't a peer review certificate help me with that? No?
No.
Would that be helpful in getting an ISO or ISO certificate? No?
ISO certification is completely different.
Okay.
So get in through the proper professional way, which will help you in setting up the process.
Okay.
And helps you in that.
Okay.
Plus, make an investment in your firewalls, in your data security systems.
Okay.
And the local network investment is what you can make. And also, when you are an entrepreneur, it's not that we are expecting you to sit and do the entire work. You should have the capability to build the team.
Right.
And building the team requires a different skill set than doing it.
True.
So I don't sit and do a US return or a Canadian return or a audit testing. Because I know what is the client's requirements, and then I have the capability to build the team. So that's what you need to look at. Because for one client, I went and spoke to about tax. He said, can you do something on valuation? So I said, I have to just get a team to do that. So that's where we pitched in for valuation. And then he came out and said, I need a data analytics team. So that's where things grow. So it's not about the mindset of, I should know that work before I do that outsourcing. You should have the structure in place to build the team.
Okay.
So any business person wouldn't do that, right? So same way, this is also business.
Right.
So you need to build the team and get it delivered.
So can I answer? Yes, please. Yeah. So I'll answer this question a little differently. From my side, if you really want to get into this business, it would be that the biggest investment would be if you can go to the US or the country wherever you are focusing on and stay there for some time.
Okay.
Work with them, kind of connect with them first over here through LinkedIn, through your sources, through your references. Go there, be with them, connect with them, work with them so they can see your capability while you're working with them. And along with that, you should have a team whom you are training, providing kind of all the training which you see
Delegating
that is required when you
Right.
are there. And with that, you have to take care of the security. The biggest concern for them is the security of their data, of the information which they are sending to you. So you need to ensure that from all angles you are secured and you are making their data secured, and there comes the role of ISO certification and such stuffs. So in the first step, you need to first go there, adapt to their culture, sit there and say them that I am here and I can work with you. So if I can work with you here face to face, why can't I go there and work? Which will obviously save on some cost. Though it is not a matter of cost, but it will still save them a cost because the cost of delivery will be low if you are here in India and serving them.
I would like to add one thing here is, you know, Institute again has given an opportunity as a fellow chartered accountants, like there, which is a brand ambassador to that one. So with us being there, our chapters and the people we are sitting at local, we have identified that there are various fairs or there are various economic missions that happens. Anybody have heard about Accountex in UK? Sorry, right. Correct. So our Western WIRC, all our firms, they go to Accountex every year and they get the work from there because Accountex is not only a UK one.
I'll interrupt you in between.
Sorry.
This time, ICAI had a stall in Accountex London.
Indeed, exactly.
Yes.
But that information has not been disseminated to our fellow chartered accountants. Where is the communications, or like how it is? How many of us read our journals? How many of us read the emails that comes from Institute? That could be because some of them are spams and the webs. So there are fairs, You don't have to go and stay there, but be part of it. And again, Institute has done a wonderful initiation that after the World Congress, which happened every 4 years in different countries, that happened in Mumbai, then now India has been given the task, that Indian Institute has given the task that every year you will do it, your international event. We had GLOPAC, we had WOFA, we are having WOFA 2.0, and the world accountants are coming in here. You see, so you don't even have to go. You have to just go to Delhi or Noida, identify 2 days there, meet those people, get your business cards out, listen them out, and the opportunity is there. So I would say is the investment, you don't even have to do a lot, but identify and do that research work that where is it happening? If an IASB board is, if you're an IFRS expert, right? Where is the next conference of IASB is happening? You have to just be there. Look into it. The insurance IFRS 17 came in. So these are the things you have to identify and then look into it and then be part of it. Automatically, you will see that being present there, already it's attracting. It's a magnetic effect, like that's what the trade missions happens, So according, and this will give you an opportunity to get the businesses out there.
I'll just add one more question to it. Sorry for taking your time. If GCC or an outsourcing model is not all about cost, but more about building capabilities and adding value to the organization, isn't Africa a great market for this business? Because they obviously lack capabilities in comparison to us. And since cost is not a factor, hence they could easily transfer it to us?
So I was in Delhi attending as a NASSCOM event, GCC event. India has 4 identified things which Africa does not have it. The infrastructure capabilities, the resource, our mid-tier, the like professional qualifications, the engineers, the data scientists, the finance professionals, that the scalability what India could offer. Then the security, the compliances. We are the largest democracy. We are the largest compliance. We are one of the largest, like UPI digital, which now everybody is doing it. So the digital infrastructure, you talk about certification. So Africa does not have it. Tell me one African country which was known as a part of BRICS, South Africa, where does it stand? No. There are 2 countries in Africa that will come up into the 2030, 2040, the next 20 years, will be Nigeria and Egypt. Those 2 countries, the world report, the IMF has come out with it. So it's not Ghana, it's not Sudan, it's not South Africa, it's Egypt and Nigeria. If you can identify the players in there, then you will get that businesses out to it. But Africa cannot compete with Asia Pacific. It's Asia's and Asia Pacific's next 2 decades, And it's not only India, you will get a stiff competition from Indonesia, from Vietnam, from Thailand, from Philippines. So we have to, because our accounting professionals, the skill sets and things, we are very comparable to them, and our service delivery qualities will always be comparable and to it. But one thing will not be comparable is the land mass. They will always be small and prone to natural calamities, which India can offer to the world. That's why the GCCs are coming to India, and they are not going anywhere else.
So I think we will have to end the session. Sandeep Da?
Thank you very much, Sarita and both of the panelists. So what I can take as the takeaway from this entire discussion, that yes, outsourcing is, as Rajshekar ji has said, is an art. And I can take it this way: it is a very scientific art and a very artistic science. So it's both. So thank you very much for your, very in-depth analysis of and helping our delegates to giving a very clear-cut knowledge. So I'll do a very small session of the felicitation of our delegates. Sir, may I call upon stage? Please come up. Just come forward to felicitate our speakers as well as the moderator. And with a uttariya and a memento. So I request you to please put your hands together for the speakers as well as the moderator. May I ask CA Gaurav Agarwal ji to just give the formal vote of thanks. Please,
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the organizing team of the 50th Regional Conference, it's my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks for this enriching session on the art of generating outsourcing assignments. First, my heartfelt appreciation to our moderator, CA Sarita Agarwal, for steering the session with clarity, precision, and excellent flow. Your moderation ensured that every key point was highlighted and every insight was brought out meaningfully. A sincere and warm thanks to our distinguished speakers, CA Anjani Ladia, Chairman ICAI Lasambag, and CA Rajshekar Reddy Yadia. Despite the limited time, both of you delivered exceptional depth, practical perspectives, and global insights into how firms can build, nurture, and scale outsourcing assignments. Your experiences, ranging from international client expectation to operational excellence, have added tremendous value to all the practitioners here. My appreciation also extends to our Eastern India Regional Council and the Conference Committee for thoughtfully including such high-impact mini-sessions in our landmark 50th edition. Finally, a big thank you to all our participants. Your engagements and commitment to learning are what make this conference truly special. Thank you once again and enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you.